Noong winasak ng The Filipino Flash na si Nonito Donaire Jr. ang undefeated na boksingero ng Armenia na si Victor Kanyang. Ito rin ang boksingero na nagwasak sa kapatid ni Nonito na si Glenn Donaire, kung saan tinapos niya ang kapatid ni Nonito Donaire sa loob lamang ng 6 na round sa pamamagitan ng technical down sa round 6. Kaya naman sa taong June 7, 2007 ay sinagupa ni Nonito Donaire ang undefeated na boksingero na tumalo sa kanyang kapatid. At hindi nga nagiging madali ito para sa Pinoy dahil mayroon itong malinis na kartada ang IBF champion sa 28 wins at 22 knockout. Samantalang ang ating pambato naman na si Nonito Donaire ay ito ang kanyang comeback matapos madungisan ang kanyang malinis na kartada. Ang nooy undefeated na si Guillermo Reguando sa isang unanimous decision. Kaya naman sa pagbabalik ni Nonito Donaire ay susubukan niya ang lakas ng kampiyon at ipaghihigant ang kanyang kapatid. At susubukang aagawin dito ng Pinoy ang IBF World Champion ng isang Victor Kanyang. At sabayan niyo akong balikan ang naging laban ng ating nag-iisang The Filipino Flash at kung paano niya winasak at pinagapang ang undefeated na kampiyon.
Respect my commands at all times. Let's touch him up, let's get popping.
Let's get poppin', says Eddie Claudio of Brooklyn. Victor Kanyang, one of the most unique and unorthodox fighters in the world, has never been dropped or hurt or even remotely threatened in the ring. Almost every punch is meant to end the fight or at least break your spirit. His left, dynamite. But in meeting with Nonito Donaire yesterday, he came across as very confident, loose, and incredibly calm. A guy who seemed like he already had the test questions in advance. We'll soon find out, Al.
I like that explanation of him.
Something, unfortunately, I never had.
You know, no, I find that hard to believe. He is a taller fighter with a bigger reach, and those are the things that you always wonder, can a Darchinian, who's a fighter that comes forward, deal with? Donaire's attacking him much more than I expected right at the beginning.
Darchinian, not a particularly fast starter in general. It'll be interesting to see if he gets right to it here. He did start unusually fast against Nonito's brother Glenn, who incidentally told the younger Nonito that Darchinian does not hit hard, and you can see the punches coming. Darchinian's response, he was toying with Glenn that night. He didn't punch as hard as he usually does. Ooh, big left uppercut attempt there by Donaire, that missed.
Two things have happened. The right hand is landing for Donaire, but the left is landing by Darchinian. But I think Nonito Donaire has made Victor Darchinian think about his power already.
And a wild swing and a miss with the left by Darchinian. The free-swinging Darchinian is being tested right out of the gate here by the younger Nonito Donaire, having a very good start to the fight.
Well, you mentioned it. You know, you said Victor Darchinian's gone through an undefeated career, barely tested. I got to be honest, in the first half of round 1, he's been hit more than we've seen in all the fights, and he's getting whacked like Donaire.
He just got hit. That was a shove. He just got hit by a left hand by Nonito Donaire. Donaire comes out blazing here midway through the first round.
Now the danger in all this is Donaire better not get too brave. His mission is to be a boxer-puncher, even though a powerful one.
Now Darchinian trying to push Donaire back. Donaire has skills, no question. Straight right hand to the chest. He's versatile, he's patient, calm, and lightning fast, and he can handle pressure. He's got a lot of amateur experience.
Well, in the keys to victory, one of the ones was land the right hand. Donaire's done it repeatedly to both the body and the head here in round 1.
Donaire really up on his toes, moving to his left, which is the correct thing to do. And another wild swing and a miss there by Darchinian. And if he's not careful, he's going to be wide open for a straight right by Donaire. Now Donaire goes to the midsection, but that was blocked by Darchinian. A spin-around move there by Donaire.
You know, Victor Darchinian's probably lost a few rounds along the way in his pro career, but I don't think he's ever lost one the way he's losing this one.
Donaire said he's very cognizant of Darchinian's uppercut, but that straight left can really wear you down. Boy, Donaire kind of buckled there moments before the bell to end the first round. But he seems very fresh.
What's that down there? Give me the water. What's it? Yeah, water. Okay, Vic. No, wait. Breathe, little breathe. Okay, back down. Everything good. Don't sound okay. A little bit nervous because he's shocked you. He come out hard, which is good, Vic.
Well, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but for now, Nonito Donaire is having his way with Vic Darchinyan. There's the right hand landing, and even those wild punches by Donaire don't get countered by Darchinyan. And it's not really just the right hand either. There's a nice counter left hook by Donaire. The trick for Donaire was to counter well as Darchinyan came in, and for the most part, he has done it. Already after round one, the plot is thickening a bit.
Excellent opening round for the challenger. Nonito Donaire in the red and white, 17-1 with 10 knockouts. The champion Darchinyan of the Black Trucks. Donaire, a huge underdog, yet he feels Darchinyan has built his record on washed-up fighters and guys moving up in weight. Well, at least tonight, Darchinyan in there with someone who's fought mostly at flyweight and super flyweight. But remember, Darchinyan regularly spars with guys much bigger than him. Darchinyan 28-0 with 22 knockouts.
Now, Darchinyan told us he wanted to use his right hand a lot more in this fight. He's known primarily as a left-handed puncher. So let's see if he tries to throw the right hook and the right uppercut a little more against Donaire.
And the reason for that, because he knows that Donaire is going to be circling to his left to try to get away from his power, the left hand. So he'll try to surprise him with the right. There it is, right there on cue.
You know what I'm surprised at? And it's a good weapon.
Left hand by Donaire to the head.
He is landing the jab. Donaire's also landing his left hook pretty well. And of course, that's a good weapon against the southpaw. Donaire not known for that punch. And he's had hand problems with his left. Broken in his second fight as a pro, and it's been troubling him sometimes in fights since.
Oh, Darchinyan got nailed, and then he came back. Here's a right hand, a miss by Donaire with the left hand. And it is really heating up here in round two.
Nonito Donaire is making this an interesting fight, but boy, he could make it too interesting for himself, because there are times when he is standing in harm's way of those Darchinyan big punches.
Donaire has to be extremely focused against the awkward, herky-jerky moves of Vic Darchinyan. Punching left there by Darchinyan.
That was a seminal moment in this fight. A big left hand by Darchinyan, and Donaire counters him with the left hook. This is really turning into an interesting fight here in round two.
Some pretty good give and take. Good two-way action here in the early going in the IBF flyweight crown.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about this is it's almost as if Darchinyan has stepped up in weight, because Donaire is by trade a 115-pounder. And so we're getting a clue of how things would go for him in the 115-pound division.
Darchinyan missing again with a straight left there.
And Darchinyan's landed some more good straight left hands in this round. He's had a better second round. I don't know if he's winning it, but it's been better.
Well, he's usually a slow starter. I mean, even in fights in which he has been highly combustible later on. Trying to push Donaire back with heavy lefts there is Darchinyan, but Donaire standing his ground, looking tough. Final seconds of round two. What is developing into an interesting affair. Well, as we mentioned earlier, back in October here on Showtime, Vic Darchinyan had his way with Nonito Donaire's older brother, Glenn.
Tough outing for Glenn Donaire, down early in the fight, punished throughout until the 6th round when the fight was stopped because of a broken jaw, and it ended up being a technical win for Vic Darchinyan. Tough night for Glenn Donaire.
Time.
And Glenn Donaire with the broken jaw. There he is now, jaw healed, a very interested spectator on hand to support his kid brother. Nonito says, hey, it's better to have Glenn in the seats with everybody else, not in the corner, because he just gets too nervous and hyper.
And that's their dad, who, of course, is the trainer of these two young men.
And where's Mom? Well, Imelda Donaire is at home in California watching on TV, and according to Nonito, praying. Well, it must be working to this point, because Young Nonito faring pretty well as we enter round 3.
And you know, round 2, I have to say I might have put it in Darchinian's column because of his good second half of the round. He did come back very well, and now body work by Donaire. Darchinian's finding the range with the straight left, but the body work by Donaire in this round's been impressive.
You can see the difference in height and reach favoring the young challenger Donaire. Darchinian certainly has his vulnerabilities, as you can see, looping his punches. As Al pointed out earlier, the defensive lapses, but his unconventional style and his incredible power usually bail him out. And when he straightens out those lefts, the power is compounded, like just now. Now Darchinian going to the right.
That was a counter left hook a moment ago by Donaire. Every time Vic Darchinian kind of rushes in, he does get countered by Donaire, and that's an issue for him.
Donaire has more well-rounded skills than Darchinian. Darchinian usually just looks for that one punch to end it. He's kind of undisciplined, but it seems to work for him.
You know, Vic Darchinian changes fighters when they come in the ring, and he's right. Once they've felt his power, for the most part, Steve, they change. They can't use their skills. That hasn't happened yet to Nonito Donaire, but there's a good left hand by Darchinian.
Oftentimes, it's difficult to stay outside box move counter against Darchinian. You have to sort of get in his chest, push him back, make it messy, hook to the body. But that's easier said than done, because if you get inside and you feel his sting, it's very discouraging.
Now, to Donaire's credit, he has fought this whole fight for the most part at long range, used his jab and stayed there. And Vic has managed to get the straight left hand in from time to time, but I know not as much as he would want. So far, he hasn't hurt Donaire with that punch.
Donaire being extremely calm and patient here, waiting for his moments.
The other thing Donaire did a moment ago was he feinted Darchinian, and you saw Darchinian react.
Big straight left hand right on the button by Vic Darchinian. That nailed Donaire. Oh, there's a good left hand that staggered Darchinian. Remember, he's never been hurt or dropped in his career. Donaire sensing the moment. Darchinian battles back. Donaire marching forward. Pacing, it's another hard left hand to the chin by Donaire.
Ironic that a left hook has been the big weapon for Donaire. Surprising.
What a huge finish to round 3 for the challenger, Nonito Donaire. A rocky scenario for this man, Darchinian.
Yeah, of course you lost round. Hey, his eye. Take that. Yeah, Vic. It's nothing, Vic. No panic, relax, no panic.
Don't worry about it, relax.
Listen to me, don't worry about the rounds now. Listen, Vic, we are letting him do all the work from the middle. You're just standing there, and your right leg is not on the outside, inside. He's always catching us with right hands, Vic.
You gave him a couple of good punches.
Vic, it's all right, brother. It's all good.
Well, Darchinian was able to land a good straight left hand against Donaire. Now, those are the kind of punches that are supposed to make fighters not come back at you, but there's a left hook by Donaire, and that was a portent of things to come, because there's a good counter left hook by Donaire that hurt Darchinian and changed that round, and there would be other left hooks to follow that would also hurt Darchinian, and big cut around the right eye of Darchinian.
We'll see if that enters in as a factor, so things really getting intriguing here. This is the first time we've seen Vic Darchinian in any kind of trouble. It might be the first time he's been in trouble his entire career, and we'll see how he responds in this situation. Round 4, scheduled for 12, IBF flyweight title. Darchinian's belt on the line. Darchinian's undefeated record at stake as well.
You know, Darchinian's dad is here to see his fight. Only the second time he's seen his son fight as a pro. He's got to be a little nervous at this point.
Tense moments for Ruben Darchinian. First trip to the United States.
Owned a gas station in Armenia, and he and Vic have a great relationship. And right now, he's got to be concerned for his son.
A lot of concern in the Darchinian corner as well, led by trainer Billy Hussein, who's 2-0 with Darchinian, so he's taking over from former world champion Jeff Fennick.
You know what's interesting about this too? Now Darchinian kind of feels urgency to come forward and make things happen, but when he does, Donaire is counterpunching him so effectively. So it's a tricky situation for Vic Darchinian right now.
Donaire not quite as aggressive as he was towards the end of the third round. Just tasted a straight left hand from Darchinian.
Darchinian's able to get that left hand, especially when he uses the jab. I think Vic Darchinian has not used his jab enough in this fight, Stephen. Were he using it more, it would set up that straight left hand.
You'll notice both eyes red and swollen on Darchinian right now. Missing wildly with a straight left is Darchinian. So the eyes are becoming a factor for Darchinian. And it's early. How will Vic Darchinian handle adversity? For the moment, it appears as if Donaire is letting him off the hook. Now, that right hand by Donaire was blocked by the left glove of Darchinian. Straight left hand by Darchinian to the chest, pushes Donaire back.
Again, the counter left hook by Donaire. You know, the problem with Darchinian is when he rushes in, defense is not something he remembers much, and Donaire has been able to take advantage of it. Now, there's some roughhouse tactics by Darchinian. We talked about that before the fight. He likes to rough things up in there, but you can't do it, Steve, when your opponent, who has a big height and reach advantage, stays on the outside.
Nice counter left there by Donaire. Another counter there by Darchinian, and a spinner move by Donaire. And Eddie Claudio is saying, don't do that.
I kind of thought it was fun.
Works better in basketball.
Yeah, it's true.
Final seconds of the round. And Darchinian ends it with a straight left to the chest. Let's get it over to our Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Steve, thank you very much. I'm here with Glenn. Your brother is doing very, very well. Nonito is right now. How much advice were you able to give him coming off your loss to Darchinian?
The only thing I told him is that, you know, look, if only I could hurt Vic, because Vic was way a lot bigger than I am. But, you know, like a fighter, you know, I never back up to anybody. But the thing is, I hit Vic with good punches back then, and I couldn't hurt him. I could only hear him go, oh. But I told him, if my brother, if you hit him with those kind of punches, you'll knock him out.
And did you feel as though Darchinian could not hurt your brother?
The thing is, we have two different styles. And the only thing my brother needs to do is, you know, just don't get hit. Because Darchinian is, like I said, you know, God forbid, he's a lucky puncher.
You're more nervous now than when you fight, aren't you?
Oh, no. You know, you ask my brother or whatever, when we go into the ring, we never, you know, no lie, we never get nervous. But when we see each other fight, we get nervous.
Calm down. Enjoy the fight. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you.
Back to you, Steve.
Thank you very much, Jim. Boy, he made me nervous. They are two different kinds of fighters. Glenn Donaire, a face-first brawler, and Nonito more of a tactical technician.
And Nonito Donaire has some physical attributes, too, that his brother doesn't have. He's taller, he's got the reach, and he's a little bit bigger. And so all of that is troubling Vic Darchinian right now.
Darchinian came in thinking that Nonito was more of a threat, that he was better than Glenn, taking nothing away from Glenn's skills. Round 5 underway, scheduled for 12. IBF flyweight belt on the line. The champion Darchinian in the black. Struggling a little bit with the challenger in the red, Nonito Donaire. Nice shot to the body there by Donaire.
Exactly, Steve. And the body work Donaire's done over the first 4.5 rounds could pay dividends later in the fight. Donaire thinks he'll own the later rounds. In his last 12-round fight, Donaire against Oscar Andrade won the last 3 rounds dramatically to win that decision. He feels he's going to be the stronger fighter in the later rounds.
And our panel of press row scores have it as a majority draw after 4 rounds.
I have a 39-37 as Sherman Cain does.
Sherman Cain from the Manchester Journal-Inquirer here in Connecticut. Mark Abrams, 15rounds.com. Jack Overmeyer from Boxing Digest. Coming up at the midway point of round 5.
There's the jab by Nonito Donaire working well. Oh, my!
Look out! Darchinian down for the first time! Struggling to get to his feet! In terrible shape, it's all over! It's all over! Nonito Donaire has pulled off the monstrous upset in emphatic fashion! Nonito Donaire. That may go down as one of the knockouts of the year, if not the knockout of the year.
He's okay, he's okay, he's okay.
And now we turn our attention to the safety and health of Victor Darchinyan.
Yeah, the irony here, of course, is after the Victor Burgos fight, in which Burgos was in some serious trouble, we hope that will not be the case for Victor Darchinyan as they work on him and try and make sure he's okay.
What a dramatic moment here in this city of Bridgeport, Connecticut, as the emotions fly, the brothers embrace.
What a night for Nonito Donaire. He set the tone for that a couple rounds earlier by landing those really great counter left hooks. And now, as Victor Darchinyan remains on the canvas, and some of this may be precautionary, we can't speculate, but we would hope it is in any case, just to keep him down. But well,
they're bringing in the equipment, the stretcher. Boy, you hit it right on the head. The irony, just like they brought it in for Victor Burgos back in March. Nonito Donaire avenging his brother's loss in dramatic fashion.
several rounds earlier, Donaire had started to land the counter left hand, and here it would come in dramatic fashion. Again, lunging in Darchinyan as he has, not concerned about defense. You have to admire the courage of Darchinyan and the will. As hurt as he was, trying desperately to get up and continue. And clearly we know he was hurt. And you see there, just not doing well. And from above, we get a chance to see how well that left hook landed. It was just a perfect counter left hook by Nonito Donaire. And, you know, we talked about how the left hook had been successful early in the fight and really was the surprise weapon tonight. We would have expected the right hand to be more of a weapon for Donaire, and it put an end to Victor Darchinyan's invincibility, that's for sure, and of course his undefeated streak. And as he lunges in, you'll see the right hand very low for Darchinyan, keeps it very low, walks into a left hook, and that unalterably changed this fight and ended it.
Nonito Donaire coming down from super flyweight to meet Victor Darchinyan, and Darchinyan, thank goodness, is okay.
I have to see everyone, doesn't matter. Come on,
guys, let me take him for a walk. Let me walk him around.
Let's get the official word from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 38 seconds in round number 5. Our referee in charge, Eddie Claudio, stops the contest. The winner by way of technical knockout and the new IBF and IBO flyweight champion of the world, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire.
Big upset. Nonito Donaire defends his family's honor, pulls off the huge surprise by dethroning Victor Darchinyan. Redemption for his brother's loss. Nonito hands Darchinyan his first defeat in 29 fights. He has completely derailed Darchinyan and turned the lighter weight divisions of the boxing world on its ear. We're set now for post-fight comments from our opening bout. Very interested in hearing these words. Up to the ring and Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Steve, thank you very much. The entire family is up here. The Donaires are celebrating. Nonito, how did you manage to pull this off?
Well, like I told Showtime before, but first of all, I want to thank God for everything. My parents, my mom, I love them. My dad, Gary Shaw, for giving me this opportunity, Showtime. I love you guys, and my manager, Cameron, they made it happen. And to all the Filipinos out there who never believed in me, but I did it, and I proved you guys wrong. But I know that you're going to support me because I proved to the world that I'm something now. And I would like to thank everybody. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Everybody, as you say, not believing this could happen. How did you manage to pull this off?
Well, like I told Showtime earlier, I told him yesterday actually, that one punch can make a difference for me and him. And I told him, you know, I have power. I've fought guys way heavier than him. You know, when I came in there, I was surprised he was so small. You know, I'm so used to having bigger guys, and I could tell from his power that he has a lot of power. He was a tough guy to fight. But like I said, he made himself so open And that's one thing that I did was, once he's open, I just took my time to time him with my biggest shot, and I did that.
Before we look at the knockout, how much did your brother help you, Glenn, in your preparation based on his loss to Vic?
He gave me a lot of confidence. That's one thing. Vic, he hits pretty hard. He has a, not too hard as I thought it would be, but he has a heavy hand. But my brother told me that he's not as tough as people think he is, and that gave me a lot of confidence. I went in there, and I proved to everybody that my brother, he's a great fighter, and you guys should know that now by looking at me. He helped me out prepare for this fight. Oh, I want to thank Freddie Roach and Wildcard Jim and Diosdado Gabi for helping me out. And I hope all the Filipinos fighter will make it happen. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas.
Let me let you look here at the monitor. And Nonito, tell us here about the knockout. Describe what's happening here and what you're thinking.
Well, I know I hurt him already. He was already hurt, I know that. And one thing could make a difference. I just time it. I knew he was going to throw something like that, and boom, there it goes. I just threw that hook, my strongest punch, and that was it. I mean, I got to give it to him. I'm not the type of person. I mean, I respect him a lot. I know he was talking a lot of crap, and I hope next time he talks that, well, he distracted me. Sorry. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm just too excited. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're distracted. Here's your reaction here right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though that he was looking past you and didn't give you the proper respect?
From the way he came in the fight, I don't think he was looking past me because he wanted to knock me out. Like I said, I respected him. He had a lot of power. He was a difficult fighter to fight. But one thing that really got me was that there's a lot of Filipinos and everybody out there who didn't believe in me, and one thing, that's how I reacted.
Let us bring Vic in here. I want to also ask you what's next for you, but let's talk to Vic for just a moment before he leaves. Vic,
very great fighter.
How are you feeling right now? Are you okay?
I feel good.
He's out of words.
I don't know what to say. I would love fight. I would like fight again. I don't feel like I was hurt. Maybe it's knocked down. I don't feel I was hurted, And
you don't feel you were hurt?
I will back. I will show him what was the punch. I feel very bad.
Like I said, Vic, I have a lot of respect for you. You're a great fighter. You gave me a hell of a fight. You were a really tough fighter and everything. And like I said, I got respect for you. And hopefully, you're okay and everything. And I know you'll come back from it.
You respect me? You're going to fight me again? You're going to fight me?
One thing I have to say is that it's Gary Shaw's call, it's my manager's call. When they called me up for this fight, I never said anything. I said, all right, this is an opportunity, I will. And like I said, just, and then...
What leads you to believe that you would be victorious next time? Because it didn't seem as though you were able to handle his power tonight.
It's punch, it's happening in boxing. I don't feel I was knocked down. Maybe I took punch, maybe I was knocked down. I would love fight, I would love fight him again. I just disappointed, I don't know, first time in my life.
Okay, Vic.
I would love to take a rematch and I would like fighting, And
we'll see what's happening down the road. What would you like to do next?
Like I said, like I said earlier, it's Gary Shaw's decision. It's my manager's decision. They gave me this opportunity. I love them for that. They gave me this chance. I'm a world champion now because of them. And I'm never going to say no to whatever they say because I came in here underdog and never, people didn't believe in it. I believed in myself. And Gary Shaw believed in me. And everybody out there who know how I fight believed in me. And like I said, I've never say no to anybody. It's Gary Shaw.
They're all believing in you now. Congratulations to the entire Donaire family. Nonito, congratulations.
Thank you very much. So all the people out there, sa akong mga kaparintiyan, mga amigo na ko tanan, salamat kayo sa inyo ang tanan. To the ENJ family, to all my friends, thank you so much.
There's the translation as well. Back to you, Steve.
Jim, it's a family celebration. Nonito Donaire, the huge underdog, as he makes believers out of a lot of people. But Al, I got to ask you, how do you react to what Vic Darchinyan just said?
Well, we had a gracious winner, didn't we?
Yeah.
He made believers out of everyone, I guess, except for Vic Darchinyan. That was an astonishing interview with him. I don't really understand why he didn't get the point that he was dominated by Nonito Donaire. He's a confident, some say cocky young man, but he lost tonight, and that's a fact.
That's beyond belief, the words that came out of his mouth. Well, at 24, Nonito Donaire, the new IBF flyweight champion, as he came down from 115, now 18-1 with 11 knockouts, his 17th straight win. Darchinyan goes to 28